Good morning, YouTube. It's Sunday, August 20th, 2017. It's about 9:30 a.m. and I'm driving down to Fresno, California today to spend the day with my daughters, Jackie and Gianna, before they start school tomorrow. And we're just gonna go out and have fun and spend the day together and eat and just enjoy my daughters that I love very, very much. And on my way down here, I was just reflecting over this week. It was just a productive week, and on Tuesday I put out a hybrid challenge to all of my friends that are in the field selling final expense. And even though I met with a few of them this week in person, I thought it was funny that nobody wanted to take on my challenge. And what I realized, guys, is that most of them didn't want to take the challenge, not because they're not confident in their skills as a field agent, but they realized that there was no chance that they can win me in a day of knocking on doors simply because of the different tools that I bring to the table. And I started just to think about what it takes to be a field agent these days. And for myself, talking from experience, I could pretty much tell you that 50,000 miles a year on my car was a normal thing. And nowadays, when I ask a field agent, I ask them a few questions that they don't know what I'm asking them for, but I'm asking just to really gauge how successful they are in the field. And one of the first two questions I ask is, how many miles do you put in your car every year? Because I know as an ex-field agent myself that if you're not doing close to 50,000 miles a year, you're not doing much. Especially in California where the population's real dense, you could get away with less mileage. But when you're living in the Midwest where you're having to travel one state or another state to cover leads, you know what I'm talking about in terms of mileage. In fact, I went through so many cars on lease programs, on purchasing, that at the end of the day, it just made sense to become a long-term client of Enterprise Rent-A-Car as an executive package. Because it just didn't make sense to just burn through cars. I stopped wasting my money there. But one of the things that I noticed when I sat down with my old field agents and friends of mine is that the companies that they're working for now in the field, they're not sitting down with them and talking logistics in terms of where they're getting their leads. All they care about is building up these lead inventory banks and then just slamming the agent with 80 to 100 direct mail. But from a logistics standpoint, it's made it so most of these agents are frustrated, losing money. And I'll give you an example of that. Let's say you're down in Southern California and you're living in Ontario, California, and you're getting 5 leads in Ontario, but less than 30 miles next to you, Los Angeles, it takes about 2 or 3 hours just to go one way in everyday Los Angeles traffic. And the problem that I see is that a lot of these agents, they're getting their leads, so it's not a lead issue, it's a logistics issue. Their managers aren't spending the time to sit down with them and lay out a plan that makes sense for them to be able to go to a city like Ontario and work 10 to 20 leads. But in their case, what's happening is that they're getting 5 leads in Ontario and a 5-hour drive later to the city of Los Angeles, which is less than 30 miles, they're getting another 5. So it's making it almost impossible for most field agents to write any significant amount of insurance business simply because of the logistics are not there. So the telephone provides a great tool for those agents that are in those circumstances, that are receiving leads, but they're all over the place, that they just can't cover them effectively and within a cost that makes sense. You know, this week has really opened my eyes how much the field business has changed in the last few years. You know, I know that when I was working in the field, you know, the travel was a must, but also having a good lead supply and it making sense where you're going to be working every week. So, you know, I'm going to be on the road here, not this coming up week, the next week I'm going to be in Texas. Not sure yet if I'm going to start in Houston or Austin, but either one of those, I'm going to be going through the state of Texas, visiting with some of my friends that are in the field and putting that challenge out there. And if anybody wants to take me up on it, the challenge stands. But I do plan on going down into the valley to meet with some of my friends down into Laredo, McCullen, Brownsville, all of Freddie Fender stomping grounds, and head up through Corpus Christi and back into Houston, or I might start through Houston and work my way out to Austin. But either way, we'll be in the state of Texas with our expansion with Securus Telesales. And if you're in those areas, you know, private message me. I would love to sit down with you and break bread and talk business, show you how the telephone business has changed my overall business. You know, for those of you guys that don't know, in 2013, I failed in the direct mail business. I just couldn't afford to subsidize my agency's losses on the direct mail. And I'm not gonna lie, it was hard at first to admit that failure. But like a good friend told me once, he said, look, I'd rather have a small organization but profitable than have this huge organization and be pinching pennies at the end of the month. So once again, if you're watching this YouTube video and you're a field agent and you're dealing with some struggles in the field, or you feel that your managers have lost touch with what it is to be out in the field, give me a call. You know, I'm not afraid to go out in the field with you, knock on doors and sell insurance. I'm not. I started in the field. I love the field. But let me show you a different way that can increase your bottom line as a field agent. A way that's helped me and many of my agents have success in this business. Also, if you're tired of the field and you're looking to, you know, work from your personal home office, I'm an example of what a telesales opportunity can do. I live in rural America. I live in the country and I love it. I love living on the lake. But the phones have provided an opportunity for me to live in the country and have the best of both worlds. Have a great career, but also live in the country. So, you know, give us a call if you want to look at the career path. We have a challenge where we invite you to listen in. And we invite you to take a look at our program before you sign on the dotted line. We don't want you to be here 2-3 weeks and then we discover that this is not for you. So once again, you guys have an amazing Sunday, and see you guys at the top. Bye.